This week's Torah reading is called Beshalach and means when he sent. Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, sent out the Jewish people from the land of Egypt, and they were traveling basically in the desert to go to the land of Israel. God did not guide them through the land of the Philistines because they would see war, they would see giant people, different people, difficult people. So God decided to guide them through the Sea of Reeds. Now, the Jewish people were walking, the sea where it was right in front of them, and Pharaoh, he actually decided that he wants the Jewish people back. He wants his slaves back. So he gathered 600 chariots, the best soldiers he had, and he went out of Egypt to recover actually the Jewish people. So where are we standing right now in this week's Torah reading? You have the Jewish people, the sea in front of them. Sea is closed, of course. And Pharaoh and his army were in the back. And the Torah says the Pharaoh came closer. And the Jewish people were so nervous, he was really getting close. Not too many options. Either you fall into the sea, you fight, but you don't know how to fight really, even though they had actually arms. They had weapons, but they didn't know. They were not a fighting people. They were like pastors. They didn't know what to do. God opened the Sea of Reeds and they went in. Okay, the whole story, you can read it in the text. However, the word that the Torah uses to say that Pharaoh, he came closer, it's like a special word that can actually be translated in two ways. In Hebrew, it says, Pharaoh hikriv. Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, hikriv. What does it mean, hikriv? Again, two ways of translating this word. First way is, he came closer. He himself came closer to the Jewish people. And again, they got nervous, they cried out to God, etc. The second way of translating this is that he made somebody else closer. Hikriv means not that he came closer. He made somebody else be closer. Closer to what? The Torah doesn't say. So our sages received as a tradition in the oral Torah that came from God to Moses in Mount Sinai, etc., the explanations of the written Torah, like the background, what's really going on besides just the letters you read. The Torah says that the Pharaoh, by getting closer himself to the Jewish people, he made the Jewish people become closer to God. He made somebody else become closer to whom? To God. Because the Jewish people, we see in the text, they cried out to God, what can we do now? And God ended up saying, you shut up, I'll fight for you, you just walk. Okay, and the sea actually opened, etc. You can read the whole story. What can we learn from this one word that could be translated in two ways? A simple way, Pharaoh himself got closer, or a deeper way, that Pharaoh made the Jewish people closer to God. In life, we find all kinds of difficulties, all kinds of challenges of different types, all of them represented by Pharaoh, the king of Egypt. And you can imagine, we're not just talking about regular, difficult things in life. Pharaoh actually killed Jewish children. He bathed himself in the blood of Jewish children. He killed so many Jews. And he really made things difficult for the Jews. And this guy, these difficulties actually, what are they for? Why is God sending us so many difficulties and so many terrible difficulties in quantity and in quality? Why? Because the purpose of those challenges is that we get closer to God. We have a few options actually, and our sages say that the Jewish people over there came up with 4 different options actually. One of the options was go back to Egypt. That's it. We're slaves. Second option is let's fight till war, till death. We're going to fight. We're not going back to Egypt. Third option, it was suicide. Just fall into the sea and that's it. And the fourth option was let's cry out to God. Let's pray. And the Torah says none of these options were actually good. God said clearly, you shut up, no fighting here, you're not going back to Egypt. You just move on. You have to do what God says, and then you're going to be fine. So we see clearly that even if you really come up with rational options, different ideas you could actually use, better or worse, doesn't matter right now, even then you have to know that the challenge is over there for you to come closer to God, and for you to realize that even before having the problem, even before the challenge, God gave you already, in past tense, gave you already the strength to overcome the challenge.